agenda. That
Auchi students won government election crisis, celebrating facts from fiction and compulsory. On Saturday, July 5, 2025, the Nigerian public was jolted by a disturbing, trending video and subsequent media reports of violence during the student union election in the Federal Polytechnic Auchi, Edo State. Some of the reports claim that 2 students were killed and several others injured. This is absolutely official report from the school management or security agencies before to publish what aggravated tension unnecessarily in the institution, and therefore for those who push this narrative, the media houses they stand condemned for this undue sensationalism and unethical practice. Though wasn't the first narrative, presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential election, Mr. Peter Obi, poured petroleum into already raging fire, lit by fiction and falsehood. Mr. Peter Obi's irresponsible intervention heightened anxiety among parents, guardians, and the public, who felt that the students are facing grave danger or dire security challenge. This unnecessary aggravation put more pressure on the school and Auchi town due to overstress anxiety. Though we are aware of Mr. Obi's political attention-seeking schemes, which are within his rights, we are so worried about why he would post an unverified news, even when he can easily access institutions that can give him the correct information. For a man who always charged us to go and verify, this is distasteful because we have verified and the result is the very opposite of what Obi posted. So we dare say that Obi lied, and this time he lied hard. For a person of his standing, we feel very, very worried. We feel ashamed that he got into this unnecessary crisis due to attention seeking. We hope that he will have the humility to apologize and retract his statement. One does not understand why a man of Mr. Peter Obi's public and political standing could jump on a bandwagon and totally demarket and smear a thriving institution like Auchi. We, however, commend a few of the media who exhibited circumspection and professionalism by waiting for official reports before broadcast or reportage. Their professionalism has been helpful in dousing the tension and encouraging the civil society to find the truth about the incident. The school has already released an official statement concerning the facts of the incident, so we will not belabor the issues since the statement is fact-backed. The institutions, the statements they have made, nobody have come to say anything to the contrary because these are the facts. The institution have also begun investigation to find out the internal forces that sabotage security in the school. We urge them to be swift, to be firm and transparent. Nigerians want to know exactly why that ugly incident should happen in an institution of learning. But just to set the record straight, in the conduct of the SUG election, the school, internal security, Nigerian police, Department of State Services, National Security and Civil Defense Corps, and local vigilante were adequately mobilized to ensure security and peaceful election. The security reports and the report of the National Association of Polytechnic Students (NAPS), who are officially accredited observers, confirmed that it was not a question of lack of security or management negligence, but clearly the work of fifth columnists who had concealed ulterior motive. So we dare say that there is a sabotage from within, and that is what the school have to unravel and make the public know. This sabotage led to allowing access to some members of the local community into the school to disrupt the election when their preferred candidate was clearly losing. These locals carried knives to scare students. This is contrary to the first report that they were shooting at students. It was the mobile police force that reportedly shot tear gas to disperse them. In the ensuing confusion, students were running and screaming. One student who is an asthma patient fainted, but she immediately regained consciousness at the school clinic and was observed in a matter of few hours before being allowed to go. That is what our finding is. That was the highest of that incident. The highest of what happened was a student that maybe because of the tear gas. We challenge anybody with a contrary claim to provide the identities of any dead student from the incident. Having set this record straight, as persons who were involved in various levels of student movement in Nigeria and had, under the civil society banner, worked extensively with institutions of learning, we hereby recommend as follows. We're actually experiencing this kind of thing, and we are recommending to the school as follows. 1, the SUG election should be suspended forthwith till all surrounding and emerging issues are sorted. 2, an interim arrangement should be put in place for a very brief period for student management engagements, since nature abhors a vacuum. We are not encouraging a protracted interim arrangement or caretaker, because we have always advocated participatory democracy among the students. But in the course of what happened, it's important that students must have somebody that represents them on the table of student management engagement. So that arrangement should be made so that students can have their voice and have their welfare issues appropriately channeled. 3, the report of the National Association of Polytechnic Students, NAPS, who were on ground and saw things for themselves, should be carefully considered and implemented. This includes meting adequate sanctions and prosecution of culprits and their collaborators. NAPS actually felt that what happened was a sabotage and it was a crime that committed, and they are urging not just for sanctions of punishment within the campus, they are also inviting the security agencies to take action and prosecute those who are involved. We are aligning with that. If that investigation, if it is studied and that observation is correct, we will align with that position that those people should not go unpunished, because that was a national embarrassment. 4, yes, there should be a consideration of electronic voting system in the future, especially in line with the innovations and excellence being vigorously pursued by the present leadership of Auchi. It's a center of innovation, and we think that it is time for them to go through electronic voting that will now make the issue of coming to hijack ballot boxes and then causing unnecessary chaos unnecessary. It should also serve as part of scholarship and innovation for the institution. 5, it should be convened an internal stakeholders meeting to address all matters and concerns arising from the incident. The school should have an internal mechanism in which they meet with themselves, to talk to themselves, and then review what happened as a way to sorting out whatever may remain or may be lying in this whole ugly incident. It is important that the management of Auchi Poly address this matter to a logical conclusion, including calling out those, whether individual or groups, who smeared the growing reputation of the school. But in doing so, he must act decisively and transparently in addressing the matter, so that Nigerians will be satisfied that all is and has always been well with the institution. You know that there's worry now, some concerns, but those who know what happened know that there is no cause for alarm. But it is left for the institution to make that reassurance, doubly sure. We wish the rector of the institution, Dr. S.S. Umar, his team, the governing council, and indeed the ever resilient students all the best. We applaud the prompt response to the disruption and the actions taken so far to restore factory setting order to Auchi Poly. All the best. I thank you, and I thank you, the media, for this coverage.
We have the courage to lose sight of the shop. So they must move from that, because this one is not working where people can just come from local community and then carry knife and then chase everybody. It is better that you have some hitches in the electronic, then observe the problems you have and improve on it and stabilize. Even University of Abuja here, when they started there, I got involved because I was a student there. Now I don't have concern going to monitor, because over time they have stabilized their system. Nobody goes to bother anybody. There will not be litigation, there will not be crisis, because the system, they have been able to manage it and standardize it. Thank you.
Threats from the civil society and from the students' body, also the National Association of Nigerian Student NANS. You all are welcome to this August press briefing. It's so disheartening that today we from the civil society, as you all know, majority of us here are former student leaders. Amongst us here we have former SUD presidents, even presidents of NANS, Senate President Aku. And today we will be addressing the states of the Union, a Federal Polytechnic, Auchi, the SUG election. We are going to be separating the fact from the features and the truth from a falsehood. Because we had a very disturbing news that we find it difficult to cohere with. And we read in the pages of newspapers, even in the televisions, that there are some media outfit who report the SUG election crisis in Federal Polytechnic Auchi that claims that 2 died. Even our amiable leader, the person of Peter Obi, the immediate presidential candidate of Labour Party, even tweeted, and we became worried. What kind of society are we in? And we as civil society, we have to make fact check to discover that all were false. There was no life loss, and there was a minor crisis, and the way and manner this was blown, and we deem it fit as former student leaders. There is need for us to address the world and tell them the true story, what the facts are, to separate it from falsehoods that are from the world. So I will be asking from the today matter, who is a co-convener to take on the press statement.
Hard this time around. There was no need for this lie. Nobody died. Why will a man of his status tweet 2 people died in Federal Polytechnic SUG election, and there was nothing like that. So the way to go is what we have suggest for the institution, not only Federal Polytechnic Auchi, the entire higher institution in Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are recommending electronic electionary process for them. Thank you. God bless you all. Soli, soli, soli.